All right, hi, welcome. This is Jane Hoagland again from the Harris Y, and we are at our Y Virtual Connect Zoom meeting for this week, and really excited to present our Augustine Literacy Project folks here, Helen Hope Kimbrough and Miss Ellen here to talk to us about this program, which is, there's not a lot of things have changed in COVID. The Y was involved, and as some of you know, with the Y Readers program, and we've had to curtail that with COVID. So I'm super excited that this program has been able to continue and pivoted really well and able to reach our kids. So I'm going to go ahead and turn things over to Helen and Ellen to kind of talk to you, and so you can ask questions and just share everything you can share. So go ahead and welcome. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jane, for the invitation to present this afternoon. I will be sharing a PowerPoint presentation as we spoke about before. But before I start there, I just wanted to introduce myself and say I'm Helen Hope Kimbrough with Augustine Literacy Project, and I am responsible for engagement and recruitment. And we would love to share our program with you just to let you know more about us, but also to let you know what volunteer opportunities we have available with our organization. Also, before I get started, I would love for Ellen Babb to introduce herself as well, because she and I will be tag teaming, and she will be able to answer a lot of questions on the tutoring and site coordination side as well.
My name is Ellen Babb. I've been with the Augustine Literacy Project for over 5 years now. I started as a tutor, and so this will be my 6th year tutoring. After I tutored for a year or so, I learned about a position on staff, which I was really, at that time I was retired, so tutoring was my volunteering gig. And so I joined the staff as a site coordinator, supporting 2 schools. And then because of my business experience as Augustine has grown, I moved into a role in supporting the business office as we became a separate 501c3. And now I've moved into a role as operations director. But throughout all of that, I have always been a tutor because that's why I'm here, and I just love tutoring. I love it. So that's a little bit about me.
Fantastic. So now I will share my screen. And this will be a PowerPoint presentation. And this is a presentation that we normally provide as an information session about our organization. Okay, can everyone see this? Fantastic. Yes. Okay. So, Augustine Literacy Project. The mission of Augustine Literacy Project is to improve the reading, writing, and spelling skills of primarily 1st and 2nd grade students, low-income students, in reading, writing, and spelling. And one of our mantras of our program is to tutor one child, change 2 lives. So the life of the child is not only changed, but also a difference is made by the tutor as well. So this presentation is really to provide you with additional information about our program and support and how to motivate and help kids read. So here's the challenge that we're facing. And the challenge is 20% of school-aged children have reading problems. In high poverty schools, the number may reach to 70 or 80%. And 74% of poor readers in 3rd grade are still poor readers in 9th grade. And 3rd graders who lack proficiency in reading are 4 times more likely to drop out of high school. So these are the statistics that we share in reference to the challenge. And I want you to know that these numbers were prevalent prior to the COVID slide and prior to the summer slide. So I'm sure there are increased percentages at this point in time. But this is the challenge. And then here is the good news. For 90% of poor readers, early intensive intervention can increase reading ability to an average skill, and 96% of proficient third grade readers graduate from high school. So we're excited that our program actually provides that early intensive intervention, which can increase reading ability. We primarily focus on phonics, phonemic awareness, vocabulary, comprehension, fluency, all of those necessary skills that kids need to be better readers. And also the goal really is for them to be proficient so that they do well in first and second grade, but also go beyond those grades and go beyond the subjects that they will need to conquer from those particular grades all the way through high school and beyond there. So what makes ALP different from other reading programs? I like to share that we are not reading buddies because normally reading buddies is really just reading a book to a student. But our program really focuses on that one-on-one instruction, which is twice weekly in working with a student. But it's just not the instruction, it's also the mentorship that comes from this and the relationship that we build with the student over time. We focus again on those essential skills of reading with reading instruction from an Orton-Gillingham approach or based program, where we focus on multisensory, explicit, systematic method to reading instruction. So we really focus on tactile, verbal, and visual skills to help kids read. Also, we have great tutors that support our program. They provide ongoing coaching and support and are really our greatest ambassadors. They are with our potential tutors inside of training and provide great feedback and support during our training classes and beyond that point. Our lesson encompasses 5 pillars. I spoke a little bit about this before: phonemic awareness, phonics, vocabulary, fluency, and comprehension. But what I would like to say is we also start with sounds and then how those sounds marry letters and attach to letters, and then how those sounds and letters make up words. And then we focus a lot then on vocabulary of those words, because we know in the English language, a similar word that is spelled the same can really end up, having different meanings. So we really spend a lot of time on vocabulary, but then we focus on, sentence fluency as well. And then we focus on comprehension in terms of understanding books and paragraphs and all of those things. So our goal really is to match a low-income first or second grade reader who is significantly behind in reading. And what that means is we are working with students who are at least a year or more behind in reading. And some of just a situational example, and we will more than likely work with students who may not know all of their alphabets. Sometimes we work with students who may know 5 letters or who may know 7 letters. And so I wanted you to really get that understanding of what significantly behind in reading means. And again, our tutors are our greatest cheerleaders, champions, and advocates. So they really are our greatest ambassadors. And even being invited here today, we just had a great volunteer tutor, friend, board member of our program who introduced this opportunity to us. And so it really is word of mouth, along with some other promotional avenues that we venture into. But we are truly thankful for our tutors. So here is the training. And I will actually get Ellen to share more about training in terms of the Orton-Gillingham method that we utilize, and then also the Wilson reading system.
So can you guys hear me? There's something the matter with my internet connection. Can you hear me? Okay. I keep being told that I'm unstable, which is insulting as well as upsetting. Yeah, so our training is, well, our method really, it's not just the training. The method that we use is our Augustine Literacy Project method is based in the science of reading. So Orton-Gillingham is an approach to teaching reading that is multisensory, which means it's, you know, some people learn better with visual teaching, some with auditory. Orton-Gillingham method encompasses different methods. And then the Wilson reading system is a sequential approach to teaching concepts of reading. So the thing I would say there, this sort of blew my mind when I took the training. You have this idea, or I had this idea coming from a business background, that if kids know their letters and the sounds that the letters make, there really shouldn't be a problem with them learning to read. But very quickly in the training, we learned that, you know, what's the catch? Well, there is no alphabet letter that says ch, like catch, right? You have to learn the combinations of letters, what letters come together. And the Wilson reading materials allow us to teach that in a very explicit, sequential way that helps our students. During the training, there will be actual practice lessons. We have a 10-part lesson that is, the lesson stays the same each time we teach the lesson, but then a new concept is taught within the lesson. So what's going on there, right? Of course, we know with kids doing things, repeating patterns are comfortable, right? When they know what to expect, we know what we're going to do. We're going to do these 10 steps every single time. That allows us to introduce a new concept with each lesson, which is, you know, comfortable for me as a tutor. I know exactly how to approach it, and then I'm just introducing new concepts. So that was probably kind of a lot, maybe more than Helen wanted me to get into. But,
no, that's great.
And because it is that very specific, explicit method during the training, you know, you'll learn how to give a lesson, how to prepare a lesson, and then we practice. We don't just, you know, teach it and, okay, here you go, cut people loose on the students. You know, we practice to make sure that everybody feels good, confident, knows what they're doing when they go into the first lessons.
Thank you. So here's a schedule of our upcoming training classes. We have 2 in January 11th through 15th, and then January 25th through 29th. And then we have 1 class that is scheduled for February, and that's February 8th through 12th. And then we've modified our time. It used to be 9 to 3:30, but now it's 10 to 3. So we ask that you set aside that time frame for training. It is a 5-day training class to set aside that time. And then the investment for training is $250. And this includes tutoring materials and the overall training. And if this cost is a barrier, just let us know. We do have scholarships available that we can provide for the cost of training. But it is an investment of time and money as well. So here are our schools that we partner with. And these are just our 14 partner schools that I'm going to focus on here. And we have a map of the schools also, just so you can logistically see where the schools are located. But I also wanted to let you know that our training and everything that we will do, even in partnership with these schools, is virtual for this upcoming year. So our training will be virtual, and also our tutoring sessions and working with a student will be virtual. We will be using the Zoom platform, and thankfully most of us logged into Zoom today. So I tell everyone that's half of knowing about how to get in tuned with training, but also in tutoring with a student. But these are our partner schools, and our partner schools basically means that we have a site coordinator that is responsible for each of these schools that will provide you with logistics of the program. Also with in working with literacy facilitators to identify students for our program and matching a tutor with a student. And so they would actually be the contact person for you in selecting these schools. Now that we are virtual, we're also asking for tutors to be flexible in a school. But if you would like a school that is in close proximity to your home or to your office, feel free to look at the map and you can definitely select one of those schools as well. We do want what will work best for you. Did you want to say anything in relation to the site coordinator role, Ellen?
I guess I was just thought it might be good to talk a little bit about sort of what our program looked like pre-pandemic, what it looks like now, and you know, how we see the future, which is to say, you know, prior to everything that broke here sort of in March, our program was all in person. So we would take the training. I go to the school, sign in, go to the classroom and collect the student from their classroom. We go to our tutoring location, have our lesson, take the student back to class. In March, when the schools, you know, abruptly closed for obvious reasons, we knew then that we needed to adapt and adjust. And so we've taken our lesson plan and adapted it to being administered online to virtual. And that is what it is this year, of course, as Helen said. And I say all that to say, I think the future for us probably contains both. So I really want to say, if there's anybody watching who thinks, oh gosh, you know, the computer's not for me, this is not my kind of thing, please keep us in mind, because I think, you know, for the next school year, my fingers are all so crossed that we'll be back to in person. And then maybe we'll have both to offer. You know, if you're more comfortable on the computer and don't care to take on the travel time to go to a school and all of that, that might be a great option for you. If you would prefer to do in person, you know, please keep us in mind for a future year. And then I just want to say, I guess the other thing I'll add is, it's really hard to convey in these information sessions when we talk about what we do, what the real value, you know, to me as a person, aside from the fact that I love working with a young student. It's impossible for me anyway to work with a first or second grader and not fall just a little bit in love with them. They're always unique and sweet and fun in their own way, but you know, so I feel good about that and helping them gain skills that are so important to their future. But I get a lot out of it too. I kind of selfishly make sure that I'm tutoring every year. I'm first in line. I'll elbow people out of the way to make sure that I get to be a good tutor. So it's hard to describe what we get back from developing these relationships with the kids and seeing them grow and progress. It's some of the most meaningful things I've ever done in my whole life. So anyway, sorry.
Yeah, so I did want to share this particular slide right here, and it's actually my favorite slide, just because you do see that relationship being formed. From the material standpoint, this is some of the material that you will end up receiving in terms of workbooks from the Wilson Reading System, along with readers that kids will also get an opportunity to read that are on their level. You see this particular picture here where a child is sounding out words. So we will teach you how to tap sounds of words and then how to smear those words together. And so that's what we talk about when we share that multi-sensory approach. Here we have word cards here. And so when we were talking about just, learning new words, but then those fluency of words over and over and over again, sometimes, kids will love that particular exercise inside of our lesson. And then the whiteboards as well. Now we actually have these whiteboards through a program called Jamboard. And so that will be the virtual way that we will be providing this lesson. So this kind of shows the in-person approach, but everything that you see here, we will be able to provide the virtual and remote learning approach online through Zoom with our students. And I also just wanted everyone to see Ellen here. Not sure what year this was, Ellen. But
that is the very first student I worked with, five years ago?
oh, wow, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So that means she's like an 8th grader now. Uh, so yes, I wanted to show that. And then I will share, this is the last slide that we have here. And this is a quote by Victor Hugo, which says, "To learn to read is to light a fire. Every syllable that is spelled out is a spark." And that is really something that resonates with us because our goal is to really light a fire for reading. I mean, we start out with sparks, but again, over the course of time, it is for this fire to be, a robust fire for learning, for education, for success, again, in 1st and 2nd grade, and then the matriculation to other grades. So to become a tutor, we would love for you to complete an application. If you have additional questions, you can feel free to peruse our website. Here's the link here, or we are on all social media platforms, and I will be able to provide you with that information as well later. But at this juncture, I will stop sharing and see if anyone has questions about our program.
Anybody have any questions for Ellen or Helen based on what you've heard? Or I know you may or may not have known about this program. Go ahead.
Classes in January, February. I've learned a little bit about the program. The commitment, I understand, is there is a commitment. And I understand that. When would that start? Would it start in the spring semester after you complete the course, or would it start in the fall of the 21-22 year? What would you suggest? What's that like?
We would work to get you matched with a student right away, so that you can immediately begin, practicing what you learned. It's not ideal in any situation to learn something new and then table it for a while.
Right.
So yeah, we would work to match you with a student right away. And then the commitment, yes, we should have mentioned that there is, we request that tutors commit to at least 60 sessions with their student. And that typically means more than one school year, regardless of when you take the training. But that is part of, you stay with the same student as long as that student is doesn't move or change schools or something happens, then you stay with the same student. And we believe very firmly in that consistency, of the adult working with the same student. That answer your question, Neil?
Yes, ma'am. You don't happen to have an aptitude test to see if I would be any good at it first, do you?
You know what? I'll tell you something that I tell everybody too. I think I did say this, but you know, I finished my career in banking. I was in finance and banking, which is really numbers oriented and couldn't be further away from being, you know, an educator. And so, you know, I came to volunteer here because I believe strongly in education as being the, you know, the path to success in life. And I was very intimidated thinking, who do I think I am to be able to teach reading? But it's a method that we teach. It's a systematic method. And so, you know, no aptitude test required. We're gonna show you how to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, and not only do we show you just, you know, how to provide the lesson to the student, I did want to at least talk about our tutor community as well, because at each individual school, we have a site coordinator that will provide a tutoring sessions or times just so that tutors can connect with one another at those individual schools. And then monthly, we also have a lunch bunch program that we provide. And that also just, you know, we have additional skills. So we actually call it like our professional development component for tutors, just to learn some additional information. Sometimes it could be about skills, but sometimes topics could be, you know, growth mindset or social and emotional learning, just to provide you with additional information of working with a student. And when we talk about pre-COVID, when we were face-to-face, we normally had about 75 tutors who would participate in our lunch bunches. And now that we are online and have removed that drive, we have about 90 or more tutors that join us monthly. And so, so we are enamored with our lunch bunches and the speakers that we have to come and speak with our tutors. Any other questions?
All righty, well, thank you so much for sharing this. I mean, what you guys, so tell me how long you guys have been doing this?
We've actually been doing this for 15 years.
Wow.
Yes, yes, we have celebrated 15 years this year, actually. So we are excited to still be here and to still partner with schools and community and faith partners to bring this program to life to work with students.
That's wonderful. Wow, I applaud your efforts. Hey, Todd, you got a question?
Yeah, I'm sorry I'm late. Can you text your organization? I recently have 450 people now in the Charlotte area that want to volunteer for free, and they don't know how.
400 people, Todd?
We want their names.
I know.
That happened in just a week and a half. I started on Next Door Neighbor. There's a group called Charlotte Loves You. I had an idea of just having not nonprofits, but individuals. A lot of individuals call nonprofits and they say, thank you, but we're full up. And they're tired of not being able to give. And so I'm trying to form a collective of these folks that can be reached to and asked for help.
Now, I don't know, what is the best way for us to connect, Jane? Because I know that you're providing this medium through the Y, but is there?
Connect you. Todd and I work together, so I can connect the two of you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then the Charlotte Public Libraries have offered for me, for these people that want to volunteer, to do background checks for them so that they're all proved to be upright people.
Well, Todd, you missed the beginning of this, but there's a very specific training and everything that goes on with this. So
Okay.
it's very specific, but you can watch the recording to catch up with the beginning or check their website too.
Okay, and my last question is, are you connected with the CDIA? the Charlotte Digital Initiative Alliance, and their work that they're doing with digital navigators and improving digital literacy. They are reaching out to organizations to get them in the matrix of their digital components for education and literacy in the Charlotte area.
Okay, wonderful. I can let Ellen talk a little bit about what we've done to make certain that our students and tutors have those digital devices that they need.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think we'd like to be connected with them. Did you say CDIA?
Yes, Charlotte Digital Initiative Alliance. The leader of that is Seth Irvin, who is the Chief Innovation Officer of the Charlotte Public Libraries.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so earlier I had mentioned, we've always been an in-person, in-school program. This will be just another quick background. So we offer 1 week of training, and then tutors meet with students twice a week. So we, in March, of course, when schools closed down, worked really hard over the summer, had a couple of pilots in order to adjust our curriculum to be delivered virtually. But, we do find that there are, we offer training now, not just for our curriculum, but on how to deliver it virtually, which includes some training, the platforms, the applications that we use. We go over Zoom, how to share the screen with Zoom, the different things. But it would still be very interesting to connect with Seth to see if they might have some suggestions for us on how to expand or do what we do better.
Great. Also, as an individual, this year I've received and given away 697 laptops for free to the needy with cameras for Zoom. I just got another 70 of those I'm putting together. So if any of your students ever need laptops, just let Jane know, okay?
Will do.
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Yeah, we have also acquired some laptops to loan out to tutors, right? If we find that iPads or Chromebooks are not ideal, and so if anyone needs to borrow a laptop in order to support tutoring, we have those to offer too. So yeah, that's great to know. If we run out, I know who I'm going to call.
Well, I love to see different, everybody who's caring about these kids come together and make sure that we're meeting the needs as best we can, particularly in a situation where statistics are already, very disturbing. And then you add, COVID to just exponentially make those numbers just almost just hard to bear. So
yeah.
I appreciate the efforts that you guys are doing, Todd, as always, all the things that you've been doing for the community. We're just really lucky to have you guys, and let's just spread the word. This program, this recording will be up on the YouTube page for the YMCA. So I will share the link will be out there, and if you know people who missed this but want this information, obviously you can go to the website for Augustine Literacy Project. But if you just kind of want to let somebody hear this whole program, that can be done. This will be posted probably within 24, 48 hours, and it can be shared. So I'm just happy that the Y can connect all of us together and doing the best we can for our community in these trying times. So I'm so grateful to you guys for coming on today. Todd, it's great to see you. It's been a while. So happy to see you. And Neil, Joanna, Barbara, and Barbara, thank you for coming as well. Please share this information. It just needs to be out there, and every one person that we can reach to step up and be a volunteer is just great. So I appreciate you all being here.